Welcome back to Bonfire Conversations. In today's episode, I had the pleasure of speaking with Ulas Karademir, a brilliant mind behind some of the most innovative technical developments at IO Interactive, the Danish developer behind Hitman series, Kane and Lynch, Freedom Fighters, Mini Ninjas, and the upcoming 007 game. Ulas plays a pivotal role in shaping the technology that powers the games we love, including the impressive Glacier Engine. As a long fan of IO Interactive, this conversation was a real highlight for me. We talked about the company's 25th anniversary, their ambitious future devs program, and the strategic expansion across new locations, including Istanbul. Ulas shared incredible insights into the unique culture at IO, the impact of different international influences on their projects, and why the Glacier Engine remains such a powerhouse in the game development. Please make sure to subscribe to Bonfire Conversations on YouTube and any podcast streaming app if you're enjoying this content. Here's my conversation with Ulas Karademir.
Hello and welcome to Bonfire Conversations, Ulas. This is such a great moment for me to talk to someone from IO Interactive, and as I've been a huge fan of this company since I was a kid, from the amazing games you've made to the way it's been operating so gracefully and, as I always say, with class. When you think about IO's brand, it's a very prestigious, successful, and forward-looking company. First established in Denmark, and now, just like Agent 47, it's been traveling around the world, establishing HQs one after another. So, long story short, I'm so excited to talk to you, as Hakan Abrak, the CEO of IO, put it, the forefront man of innovative endeavors at IO Interactive.
Okay.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very nice of you. Very kind of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. So first, I'd like to congratulate you and everyone at IO for the 25th anniversary of the company. When did you join IO, and how different is it now since the first time you started working there?
Yeah. So I joined IO Interactive originally, the first time actually in 2006. But then I had I think 7-8 year. And then I had a break of 10 years. Then I'm back like 7 months ago. So this is my second round in IO Interactive.
Yeah. How much has it changed from the first time you were working and then from your return?
A lot changed, but also some of those things are still the same. I mean, the culture is same. It's very open. Like we have speak through, good feedback. Everybody's trying to do their best still. What changed is that the company grew a lot. When I left, I think we had the Glacier back then, our game engine, and then we had the Hitman. And now we have other projects as well. We were a studio with one office. Now we have 5. And also there's more people played the Hitman than ever. So it's changed a lot. Yeah. From that perspective.
So I see IO's history in 3 different chapters. First era begins from 98 to the time Eidos and IO were acquired by Square Enix, which is the second era. And then the triumphant rebirth of the company going independent and expanding. I think IO at the moment is the strongest it's ever been, and I was so excited to see you started the publishing brand with a banger from Leslie Benzi's Mindways, who's produced and designed GTA since GTA 3 to Red Dead Redemption and LA Noire. You have 5 studios at the moment in Denmark, Sweden, Spain, Turkey, and England. What do you think about this amazing growth and evolution IO has had so far, and where do you see the this potential leading to?
I think it's just like it's kind of our success leads to our growth, right? I mean, since our independence, I think we did a lot of things very right, especially regarding the Hitman game. I think IO has built the best Hitman ever with Hitman 1, 2, 3 and World of Assassination.
Exactly.
And that's lead to that growth, also lead to creating a space for us to do new things as well. It's not like we have always, IO did many IPs. So we are always working our own RPs. Like we had Cannon Ninja, Mini Ninjas, Freedom Fighters, and a bunch of other games that we built. So it's not just Hitman, but there was a moment where we were very much just Hitman because of the circumstances and the conditions back in the day. Now it's going back to where we were before, but this time we are much more suited to be successful because we kind of crack down some of the DNA of making a successful game. And we would like to continue on that journey and on that kind of learnings going forward.
Yeah, this is great news. And we can see it with 007, the RPG fantasy game, and Hitman, who knows what. So let's talk about IOI Future Devs Program. What is it exactly?
So I'm originally from Turkey. I've been living in Denmark for 23 years. And I've been kind of involved in seeing Turkey grow a lot in the recent years and in the gaming market. As my previous job before I joined to IO, I was vice president of engineering for Unity Technologies. And I joined Unity in very early days, and I see the growth in all the mobile platforms. And then also Turkey has grown a lot. Like it's kind of you can make a lot of parallels to the Turkish game industry and then the Unity's growth. There is a lot of studios started in Turkey, and some of them had huge success, but the whole game scene has developed a lot. I created one of the first original web pages back in the same websites called gamedeveloper.net. And I remember there was like maybe hundreds of us, maybe 200 of us, and now it's like thousands of game developers in Turkey. And in order to be to have the maturity, you have like three kind of sides to a business in game development. You need to have making good games. You need to have the competency to make good games, and then you need to have the funding to make good games, right? And then the market has to be there as well. So after we opened the office in Turkey as IO Interactive, I think one of the challenges that we had is to find people that have experience coming from AAA. Most of the people that we know is just like mostly work on the mobile games and mostly in hybrid casual. I think hybrid casual has its own dynamics, and then making it like a story-driven RPG type of games, AA, AAA games that requires different also skills and different kind of subject matter expertise. Obviously, it's very new. I think it's the only AAA studio that currently active in Turkey is IO Interactive, and we need different types of skills. We need more subject matter experts. In small studios, you do a lot as individuals to cover different roles, but as like in AAA, you specialize much more, and then it's a longer release cycles, longer time you work on the production. The value needed to deliver is larger. The playtime has to be more. That requires that you need to have different types of skill set. That one of the ideas is just like, if you can't find it, just train, right? Train the people that you are looking forward to. And then the easiest way is to start with I don't know if it's the easiest way, but the young talent, right? When they are fresh, still work in the universities, learning about software development or art, that we can actually reach out to them and create this program, starting with 10 people, and actually give them our internal tools, show them how we work, and let them to actually experience as more from the quality assurance perspective, but actually learning. And as they learn the tools, give them more and more jobs. And then when they finish their school, give them the opportunity to be interviewed for a permanent role where they already understand the culture and understand the tools. So that was kind of the mindset. And Turkey was very suitable for that because it's a young population. It's in the same time zone, almost in the same time zone as the Europe studios that we have. We already established there. And I think like a lot of people are very curious, and Hitman is a big brand in Turkey. Everything combined together, that's how we started.
This is a great plan for the future. And do you have any like help from government regarding this this growth?
No, not at this point. I think we could have, but I mean, this is I was involved before in some, just like helping the game scene in Turkey when I was in Unity, but this time not really.
Yeah,
that's something we just take the initiative, and we went really quick. I mean, we had a really wonderful team inside IO Interactive that handled this very, very quickly. I remember I just write a document. I said, this is what we're doing. Our HR, our recruitment, our office manager involved, our QA teams involved. Very quickly, we had a couple of meetings, and that was, okay, this is what we're doing. We reach out, we get a lot of interest. Then I think in a couple of months, like 2-3 months, we just like from idea to execution. And now we have this 10 people actually hired, and they're going to be first days, 11th of November, they're starting.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting when you or Hakan mentioned that you want to bring more cultures to IO, and since the Hitman series takes place in different countries, and that was your goal. It's only natural as that's something very obvious in IO's games. The other day I was talking about Danish style of art in movies and games with my friend, and many of my favorite filmmakers are Danish. The great Lars von Trier, Thomas Winterberg, Nicholas Winding Refn, and many more. I remember when I was at the film school, I told my teacher I wanted to go to Denmark and make dark, funny movies like those guys, and that's a trademark to Denmark. You got it's very funny, and the stories are sometimes dark in that country. Hitman is engulfed with that. Kane and Lynch and so many other examples. Have you personally seen how different cultures impact the projects you work on at IO?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, we need that diversity because we're making games for large audience. Different types of people play our games. So, and then it's built by, large group of people, and then that has that automatic that diversity. I mean, if you look at the cultures, like every culture has its own dynamics based on the geography they are living in, based on their lifestyle, where they're coming from. Danes are pretty good at simplicity, taking things, making a lot from simple. I think Turks has this pragmatism. We can fix everything kind of a mindset, like, and then long term, most of the time it doesn't work, but the short term it's very effective, and Americans has think large, you can see it on the architecture as well. Like when you look, when you visit different cities, you can see how they're organize their lives, how it is. It's also reflects in the source code even. Like you can see that on the on the code. Like
yeah, as you mentioned, the Scandinavian minimalism. Yeah.
Yeah, also just like, I mean, if you where are you right now? You're in which city you are?
I live in Iran, in Tehran.
Okay, yeah. So it's if you come to Copenhagen, one of the things you will notice that most of the buildings are very old, and then when that is built and maintained, right, for a very long time. If you go to Istanbul, you see a lot of houses that are very new, right? It's because it's just like this culture of like, let's just build again. Like and here is more like, let's maintain it. Let's making sure that it's just go for a longer time. It's much more emphasized on the craftsmanship. And obviously when you do craftsmanship, you pay around, it takes around about the time, but like there's different strengths, different, as the culture brings. I think the good leadership is about the art of bringing a lot of people from different mindsets and different ideas together, so that you can get the best out of it. Right?
Yeah, you mentioned leadership, and I was thinking about the conflicts you might have regarding these different cultures. Have you ever experienced such thing? Conflicts, like you can't translate something from one culture to another, and they're both working on, for example, one project.
Yeah. It happens all the time. I mean, like some cultures are very direct. Like if we work with Nordic cultures, Lithuania, Lithuania, ex-Yugoslavia, you will see much more direct answer. When you go to South, you will be more softer, more like friendlier. Both has ups and downs. Sometimes it just creates clarity. Sometimes it's just harsh, right? So it's just like I said, you just need to it's not that the message is the who's the messenger is also very important.
Yeah.
And why is he saying what is he saying? So you have to always look in the context.
Yeah. So you're one of the most experienced technical figures in the industry. You've worked on Glacier Engine, Unity, TMRW, or Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Glacier Engine is such a powerhouse. What do you think makes this engine so unique to IO, especially when migrating to Unreal Engine has become so frequent among companies who already had their own engines? What do you think makes it special for IO?
I mean, every engine has pros and cons. I think one of the both Unity and Unreal are amazing engines, and it's, it helped a lot of people to build a lot of very diverse type of games. Our engine is designed it's the second iteration of it. The first Glacier was born with the company, and then the second one was around 15 years old. And actually I was in the first team that started Glacier when I was first time employed here. I think Glacier itself is just built for teams first, because it was already an established studio, and now we were designing the game. So engine, it was more about workflows. So it's about working together. If you think about the Unity is more about like, hey, I want to be a game developer. I want to use Unity to make games. It's more like a single journey, then becomes more people join that journey. Glacier Day One is like, hey, we're building games. We have subject matter experts. They need to work together. So we need to design about workflows. So it's not just about functionality. It's more about how people work together and what we can do. So there's a lot of things we have around that. So that makes it easy. And then we have systems like a brick system, which enables us to be live games. So we can actually generate content after release. And it's like, if you can think about like a Photoshop layers, and then we can actually, without changing the game executable, we can change the gameplay environments and then replace with, and then we can create like a campaigns and elusive targets. Like we introduce celebrities and where people can come, and then we just we do it like 3 weeks and we go back. So there's a lot of advantages for us, what we do around live games, multiplayer, using resources efficiently, moving around. There's a lot of advantages for us. So that's why.
Yeah. So you're recruiting a lot of people. How do you keep them educated about Glacier and bringing new blood familiar to the engine? And secondly, do you plan to expand Glacier's strategy to sell it to, for example, third-party companies?
First question is, how do we do that? I think, like, when you look for an engineer, number one thing you're looking for, problem solving. I think in the years that Unity and Unreal make it a lot easier to get into the game development, but most of the time you are behind kind of an API and using scripting to do something, and you often look at how the other people do it and inspire from it, which is a great thing to start. But as being a software developer, software engineer, you need to be also good at solving problems. And solving problems means that you need to understand a little bit more about how data is and how it get processed. So you need to be good at data structures, understand the fundamentals of programming. You need to be good at algorithms. So you have very good fundamentals. And once you have the fundamentals, that you can solve those problems. And then the tools just becomes just a kind of an abstraction over the layer on top of that raw knowledge that you have about how to solve problems. So for us, is the most important thing. When we do tests, we're not asking about Glacier or how they use Glacier. We're asking about C++ programming. We really tell them to solve a challenge. And then the other thing is just like, you're not working alone here. So you need to make sure that you use your ego in a way of learning and improving yourself, not to get into the conflicts with others. And so it's important for us that we have good engineers, but also good team players. So these are the kind of the key things. Second question is an interesting question. I don't know. how what the situation is in the market. And I think we have a great engine. I wish that everybody can use it, but it's a tough out there. It's not just about making great tech. It's marketing. It's all kind of other things. I don't know really.
Yeah.
To be honest, time will show.
I would like to see that great crowd, the way Glacier handling crowd system in other games and big environments. It's unbelievable, and it's not demanding on any system, and we get this massive crowded environment, so realistic.
I'm happy you like it.
Yeah. So, seeing the capabilities of AI, what do you think about the future of AI in game development? And also, do you have plans to incorporate that into Glacier Engine?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're already doing that in multiple layers, and I think there's for me, it's a one more tool, right? I mean, it's like like we have seen this many times in software. Like it's a technology from if you think about animations was used to be done with hand and become 3D. Like there's a shift, and to games need to be over 2D become 3D. There was games we just had CPUs and we had GPUs, and then I mean it's just technology just improves and try to make things and automate things. But that I think that in using a tool, creating something is two completely different things. I mean, there is this really great example from a guy called Thomas DeMarco. It has this book called, I think, Adrenaline Junkies, Template Zombies, or something like that. I don't remember the book name, but it's from him. It says that, here you go, there's a chisel, be a Michelangelo. There's a hammer and a chisel. Why don't you making Michelangelo?
Yeah.
Right. So tools is one thing, creativity is another thing. And I think what people are underestimating, that just because you can make something looks like others, that's not creativity. That's something else. Like using AI is, I gave a talk a month ago in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. I was invited to talk about beyond AI, like what's like the tooling and stuff like that. I was looking for a concept, and the concept I came up with, like thinking vertical and thinking horizontal. So there's a lot of things in game development we need to think vertically. And in the end of the day, you're making a product, and that product need to be to compete with other products and other services. Like you're making a game, and game need to compete with other games, but also what you're really competing is people's time. So you need to also compete with Netflix, you need to compete with YouTube, this podcast, like everything, like to create value to people's life. And so there has to be some uniqueness, and there has to be some entertainment value that engage with it. And making something like other people will not create interest in your product, right? You need to make it special and new and entertaining. And that's what you need to use your creativity, and you need to be vertical. You need to make differentiation. But then there's some work you need to do on horizontal, because once you have that vertical kind of findings, you need to make sure that is completed. And then once you understand, you need to make it again, the more of it, right? In games, we have first playable vertical slice. And in vertical slice, we try to prove that if this game's worth making, and can we build this game? And then you go to horizontal slice, which is alpha. And the reason why you do that is just because you don't want to spend money on a game that is not fun. You don't want to spend on a game that you cannot build. You just need to collect metrics in order to predict how much money you're going to spend on the game production. So there's a lot of value thinking vertically. I think when you do like use ChatGPT or AI products or any kind of things, it's good that you can work with something that has no ego, can partner with you, you can ask questions, you can collect the information. But in the end of the day, it's generative, it's general, it uses a lot of knowledge that's already been generated. And if you want to build anything, you just need to be original and then come up with stuff yourself, right? But then you can use it to build a lot of things once you figure out those things, because then it can learn from you and they can help you to create more of the same things, where you can go to horizontal, that you can create the content. But you need that kind of a vertical thinking using AI.
Wow. Yeah, great. So before moving on from Glacier Engine, as for to clarify, it was the last iteration of the engine Glacier Engine 2, version 2,
We
right?
have been shipping Glacier every single day, multiple times in the last 15 years.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I used to say in parallel that I was doing CI, CD, which is continuous integration, continuous developer. Before continuous integration and continuous developer, it was become a term. So we've been doing that for a very long time. So there's no iteration. Like every day is iteration time with no releases. Sorry,
Great.
No release numbers. Every day we're building and making it better.
Yeah. I think at most of the time it's just a marketing kind of like act.
No, well, I mean, because I worked many years in Unity, it's not that. Because I mean, you like if you I can give you an answer about that. Why it's like that? So, for example, why there is a. So, number one reason is that once you build a tool like Unreal Unity, it's not like you cover all cases. So people build technology on top of you. They create tools on top of you, and they want that consistency because they don't want to. You don't want to break those tools every single day. Like when you release something, if there could be that what you're releasing is already built by a studio because they need it, right? So now you're releasing something and you're breaking their software with your new software. So you need to tell them that, hey, this is a new release and have a look at this. Or this is, I don't know, 5.2.2. Okay, we just bug fixing. 5.2 is there's some new features, but still we keep the architecture. So it gives the studios to adapt to and understand.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. Yeah. Great. So consoles have been a go-to platform to play games for a long time, but technology is changing. Cloud, streaming, and now platforms give us freedom to play games whenever and wherever we'd like. So what do you think about the future of consoles or generally the platforms we play games on?
I generally think so it is actually, I don't know, for us, easier to make a game for a console because you know the hardware specs, right? You know when you know what you're shipping on, it's easy to make sure that you can actually get the best performance out of it, right? And I think even like mobile phones, for me, is a platform, right? You know what the hardware is. I think it's difficult to make a game for PC and push it because there's great PCs out there with really, you can make really good, nice games, but then that's not the market, right? You need to kind of predict it. And once you start it, you don't know how fast the hardware gonna improve. You don't know. But with consoles, it's much easier, at least for us, right? Because we know what we are shipping on, right?
Yeah.
But going forward, I think there is a lot of synergies, things getting much more closer together. But also that these platforms, the hardware is very similar, or even the same hardware is just shipped in different places, right? So I think obviously both Sony and Microsoft and others want the players to be coming from everywhere and playing with their friends. And like, I know from my son that when it's very important for him, not just what game he plays, but what his friends are playing. So if their friends have different platforms and if they cannot play together, so they will go to the common denominator, right? Whatever they have. And mostly that become a PC, right?
PC.
Yeah. But if you're living in the area and your friends are all PlayStation players, you're probably going to buy PlayStation and you're going to be playing PlayStation with your friends, right? I think, or Xbox. But the lines are getting blurred. I think a lot of, to the future, I don't see any kind of why hardware should be limited creativity. It should be hardware always enable creativity. And then for me, the future is just more alignment around platforms and architecture and tech.
Yeah. So last question. Do you have time to play games, Ulas? What are some of your favorite video games and what have you been playing lately that impressed you?
Okay, I play games. I used to play a lot but I can get really obsessed about games. Like I'm still playing the game that I've been playing since I'm 13 years old, and I'm still playing it because I have an arcade machine at home. I have Street Fighter. Now I play with my kids, so I have the Street Fighter Champion Edition. I'm still playing. That's my obsession now. But now I have the chance to play with my sons. Beside, if you put that to the side, I played a lot of Mountain Blade. The Bannerlord. I played a lot of RTCs I really like, and then strategy games I like. There was a time where I tried to play FIFA a lot. That was kind of a become obsession about like, can I be a pro player for a couple of years? I tried that. That was a really hard one, and then I give up. There's games that I don't touch. Like I never touch Football Manager. Like I don't know. Like FIFA is in the blacklist for me.
That would be a great spot because you love strategies and you love football.
No, I played this game a lot back in the days, but I get obsession about. So for me, I just like I blacklist games. I look at a game and I say, okay, this is a tendency that I like. And my son really wanted me to play Elden Ring, and I was like, okay, this has a potential that I can spend so many hours. So I like watching the videos of it, but I'm not gonna touch it. I play maybe 1-2 times with my son, but that's it. So for me, it's more like how do I want to use my time, and if I have the time, then I need to be very careful about what games I'm getting into. But I love games. That's why I do what I do. Right.
Yeah, it shows. Yeah. So, all right, this is it. Thank you so much, Ulas. It's something to be excited about a game, but it's something special to be excited about a game developer with a unique voice. And I've always been in love with the way IO Interactive makes games, and its success and growth makes me happy, both as a gamer and a game developer. Thank you for your time and expertise, sir.
Thank you so much, and good luck with the podcast. And I hope this inspires some people out there making games.